heart in Thailand.
It's certainly a privilege to be here, Richard. Let's go straight away into the list of the men on whose shoulders rest their country's hopes tonight. Italy have lost 2 players who have played in all their previous 7 group games. Chelsea's Roberto Di Matteo is suspended. Ciro Ferrara of Juventus is injured. Alessandro Nesta is his replacement at the back. And there's a switch of emphasis to incorporate a third attacker, Filippo Inzaghi, who's starting an international for the first time. He joins Vieri and England's current footballer of the year, Zola.
Well, he has picked a side to win the match, Mark, no doubt, because they have to, but he isn't taking chances. Nesta, Cannavaro, Maldini and Costa Curta, their job, keep it clean.
And England's worries about Gareth Southgate and David Beckham disappeared today. Tony Adams reappears. It's only his third cap under Glenn Hoddle. So too does Graham Lasseau, so neither of the Neville brothers are in the side. Paul Ince back after missing the Moldova match through suspension. And so too is fit again Teddy Sheringham, whose greater experience edges out Paul Scholes. Well, we've had so much analysis, but now the time for speculation is over. It is what happens now that matters. 2 proud footballing nations on tenterhooks.
Well, we didn't quite have time, Mark, to get the England formation. It was pretty much as we thought, what Roy Hodgson talked about earlier. One change I have noticed is the back 3. Normally it's Adams, Southgate and Sol Campbell. What Glenn has done is he's put Southgate left side, Sol Campbell right side, and he's anchored Adams right in the middle. I think probably he feels that Campbell and Southgate's mobility might be of better use in these areas, should the Italians attempt to use the gaps in behind.
Well, it is an England side based very much on that which won in Georgia. A very, very professional performance. Tonight, Lasseau for Hinchcliffe, Wright for Ferdinand. The other 9 started in Tbilisi 11 months ago.
Well, another thing, an Italian team very quickly, Martin. Delivio has started on this right-hand side, and Maldini has taken up a starting position way left.
And Christian Vieira is caught offside. Vieira, who could have been playing against England at cricket. He was brought up in Australia and was a promising fast bowler before returning to his native Italy to take up the career of his father, who was a professional footballer.
Yeah, he's just off. No arguments about that one.
Up goes Vieri again, challenged by Adams. Italy trying to involve Gianfranco Zola. And David Batty doing some tidying up. Sol Campbell, who's a super cool character, and that coolness will really be tested here. Memories of the World Cup final, the last European World Cup final staged here 7 years ago. Well, I can tell you it's 10 times more atmospheric tonight than it was that particular afternoon. Of course, this could have been the final. These were the 2 losing semi-finalists in Italia 90 by the narrowest of margins. Here's Ince. The referee, incidentally, comes from Holland, Mario van der Ende.
It's a pity that it blew up. A little bit unlucky, the tackle comes in late. Just after that, Paul Ince just slid a lovely ball down wide right towards Teddy Sheringham, and England had a lovely break on.
The tackle was from Nesta, who is Ferrara's replacement, a Lazio player on his home ground, and a player well known to Paul Gascoigne because he was the one who unwittingly broke Gascoigne's leg in '94 in a training accident. Here is Gascoigne. Campbell, and now Adams and Batty as Ben Hoddle's men try to settle into this intimidating atmosphere. And Inzaghi chasing through the centre. David Seaman, such an important presence in England's goal. He didn't play in either of the games against Italy earlier this year. Of course, dropping out late on at Wembley in February, when the build-up for Glenn Hoddle's team then was very counterproductive, should we say. It's been much better this week, despite those scares over Beckham and Southgate. Well, Gascoigne got a good reception from the Italian fans, presumably with Lazio connections, when he came out for the warm-up. Ince remembered in this part of the world as well, and there'll be no prouder player out on the pitch than Paul Ince, captain of England tonight.
Well, nothing wrong with England's confidence in the opening few minutes. All wanting a touch of the ball, and the passing, good sign, has been quite good.
What England has got, Andy, is a tried and trusted formation. Italy taking a risk. It's against Maldini's mentality to play with the extra attacker. But this is the way that England have set out their stall, and Gascoigne with plenty of freedom to join up with Sheringham and Wright.
And when you see the setup the Italians have got against him, you just wonder who's going to get close to Paul Gascoigne, Martin. And that could be a big, big plus.
Here's Albertini, who's very much their playmaker.
This is the area. This is the worrying area for me at the moment.
Maldini's cross, Tony Adams stretching.
What Zola's doing, Martin, early on, is he's getting himself almost left side against Beckham and taking him so deep that it's allowing Paolo Maldini to drift in and pick up the ball as he did there, pretty free.
Di Livio looking for some movement ahead of him, and it was supplied by Dino Baggio. And England have conceded a free kick.
Just hold him up. I think Paul's a little rash there. You don't want to be giving set pieces away early in the match in dangerous areas. That was unnecessary.
Not when Zola's taking them, as he is this one. Here's Nesta. What we can say for sure is that England have to break new ground to reach France via Rome tonight. 3 previous away games in major international competitions against Italy, in Italy, 3 defeats. Sol Campbell's got to be careful here.
Yeah, brilliant, Collins. Great to get back in and help Campbell. He did the job, he held him up. Zaghi's quick, looks bright. No finer defender around at the moment, though, for England than Sol Campbell.
Italy have played 15 World Cup matches here in Rome and won them all. No one to alarm you at home.
Records are there to be broken.
As indeed Italy broke England's record at Wembley in February. How appropriate perhaps it would be if England can reply in kind. Di Livio. Inzaghi playing right up alongside Vieri. Campbell has gone across with Filippo Inzaghi, who's joined Juventus for this season and made a very good start with his new club. 4 goals in 5 Serie A games. But when it comes to goals, there's a fellow out there in the England number 9 shirt who knows something about it. And Ian Wright looking for the knockdown from Sheringham. The two not quite on the same wavelength there.
Promising though. I'll give them some heart. Lovely break from back to front.
Well, it is a night of raw emotion here, and if Vieri could have pulled that one down, it's a lot of Italian reaction you're getting from our local coverage here.
Well, that was more of a scare. The left leg went up, the foot came out. I thought, is he going to be able to pull it down? Fortunately not.
Vieri. Zola waiting for some movement, and Maldini quick to supply it. And getting his cross in. Beyond Campbell is pretty quick, but Maldini was quicker. England's away record has been so impressive. They've not conceded a goal on their travels in the group. They've been very resilient on foreign soil in the face of hostile fire, but this is altogether a different matter.
Now, when you arrive in the stadium and you see it at this time, this is the run from Maldini. What power, great pace. Campbell's no slouch, but he was quite prepared to knock it from 4 or 5 yards and just go after it. I think that's where many people have led us to believe that Maldini might play as a centre-back. No such thought in his mind early in the game. He's playing left side, wide, and looking to get forward.
Nino Baggio's header. And a clumsy challenge by Inzaghi. Gascoigne. Batty. Graham Lasso is pushed on well down the left-hand side. He wants the ball from Gascoigne. He uses David Batty instead. Now David Beckham. England don't get very far. Batty feels he was just caught as he played that pass, and he's moving rather gingerly back into midfield.
He did get caught late again. Albertini's caught 1 or 2 early on.
Zola trying to catch England out in a different way. Not that time.
Well, it's open. I have to say the match has started pretty open. I think we might see quite a bit of that from the Italian manager tonight.
Well, Cesare Maldini, who was hailed as a hero when he took over from Arrigo Sacchi, restoring old values, they said. He came to Wembley and won, of course. They felt was perhaps enough to be sure of the automatic qualifying place, but the results in Poland and in Georgia have been so much more profitable for England, and now Maldini finds himself the butt of the local criticism here for bringing the self-doubt back into the Italian game. Well, England trying to add to that self-doubt here. Batty seems to be okay. Ian Ince really the screen for the three behind, Campbell, Adams and Southgate, allowing others to be more creative further forward. Graham Lasso coming into that category in this attack. Gascoigne. Ince. Olivio will cut it out. Baggio. Costa Curto, one of the more experienced members of Maldini's side tonight, back from suspension. He missed out in Moldova, as did Albertini, in Georgia rather, the game that gave England the chance to return to the top of the group by beating Moldova later that September evening. Well, these are the faces we want to see.
Good start, nothing I have to say. Opening 10, 11 minutes of the match. England have looked confident, assured, no real scares.
And it is a test of will as much as skill.
Oh yeah.
This on a day that Scotland have done Britain proud already. Congratulations from all of us to Craig Brown and his players. There's a problem for Ince, who seems to maybe have a facial cut. There's a flag that's gone up here to suit England.
Well, if it's only a cut, it'll take more than that to keep Ince out the action. It'll be a quick stitch by the looks of things. Probably something that needs stitching up.
Dr. Crane in front of Gary Lewin there, ready to do what is required. Ince having to go down the dressing room steps, and as we said earlier, it is a long way back to that England dressing room. Time of the essence here. That's how it happened.
They get caught with the elbow actually, Martin. Again, what's that old one of someone leading as they jump with their arm? Paul just got caught. You can bet it won't be long for these back in. That long walk to that dressing room that Roy Hodgson talked about, though. I hope the docs fit.
Well, all football fanatics know the scenario tonight, but forgive me for just spelling it out one more time for the many extra followers attracted by national pride. Italy have to win. A draw enough for England to be part of the biggest World Cup conclusion of all time. 32 nations in all will take part in the finals in France next June. Gascoigne.
He looks up for it. He's been on the ball an awful lot. They've opened 13-14 minutes, Paul Gascoigne. He's looked sharp, he's looked bright. All the things you want him to be tonight.
Well, he's almost been England's eternal hope. Here he is in the eternal city that he knows so well. Not too much being ventured ahead of Gascoigne's free kick, with England still one man light. The captain is off for the moment. Lasso. Batty. David Seaman taking a touch. To be fair, talking to the Italian players here, they have recognised an improvement in England's flexibility. It started under Terry Venables. A recognition really of the value of possession at this level of the game, and here are England keeping the ball and teasing Italy at their own Olympic Stadium.
Pity. Little lapse from Graham Lasso, but before that had been absolutely what was called for.
The gospel according to Glenn.
Yeah, kept it. Italy running out, chasing the ball.
But now the great, and I don't use that word lightly, Paolo Maldini, looking for Inzaghi.
Yeah, I'll take that.
There's Casiraghi on the left, with the glasses Ciro Ferrara, not involved in the 18 named by this man, Cesare Maldini, and his old cohort there, Marco Tardelli, who scored a winning goal against England here in the 1980 European Championships. He said to me yesterday, you know, it's only a football match, it's not war. I seem to remember when Tardelli played,
yeah.
Pretty much like war. Here's Di Livio. Vieira. Dino Baggio's pass, and Inzaghi getting the cross in, and Seaman had to just judge that, get his body position right.
No great problem, Mark, when that ball was coming in. Left everyone behind, and when Inzaghi chose to play it first time, with Vieira being involved in the build-up really deep, just impossible for him to catch the play up. No support players at all, which is very strange when you think they've got a man extra at the moment as well.
But we're happy to see it. Ince is on his way back, we're told. Campbell picking out the ebullient Ian Wright. And he was able to keep possession until he was caught by the player who's likely to dog his footsteps, Cannavaro.
This is part of his job tonight, Ian. No support, it's to pick up free kicks, buy his side a little time. Not a usual role for him, but it's an important one tonight.
It's Gascoigne, only England player in the penalty area. Italy looking to break here. Counter-attacking is very much their style. Teddy Sheringham filling back in, but there's a yellow card here for Sol Campbell. Now that will mean that if England go into a playoff, Campbell will not be able to play in the first leg. He also was booked in the last World Cup qualifier against Moldova.
Well, more reason for him to defend really well from now on, so Inzaghi chose the wrong option there. Great run on the outside, I think it was Zola down the left side. Inzaghi didn't spot him at all.
Albertini with the free kick. Italy have got 4 in the middle. Albertini again for Di Livio. It's not a spectacular player, but a very hard-working one for the team cause. Albertini. Campbell seeing off the danger. think under the gaze of the assistant there, Olivio adjudged to have run the ball out. Well, the England management have done everything possible to enable their players to focus clearly on the task tonight. It is a task, as we've been stressing, that shouldn't be underestimated. The team came out here on Wednesday. They've been kept away from the glare of the media. They've only been seen in training yesterday afternoon out on the pitch at the Olympic Stadium. Adams. Others needing to clear England's lines here.
Well played. Two guests upstairs talked about having cool heads. Great example of it there. No panic, even deep in your own 18-yard box. Cool, lovely play. Now they've bought themselves some time and good possession on the halfway line.
So, batting. Out by Cannavaro. Gascoigne trying to slide it through for Ian Wright's run. England still depleted. Badger. Tristan Vieri pulling away at the far post. Inzaghi was in there looking for the cross as well, which didn't arrive. Cheers from the England fans, around 7,000 here officially. 2,000 others have also acquired tickets, we're told, and they're cheering the return of Paul Ince.
They couldn't have played that little spell, England, any better.
Dino Zoff played more games for Italy than anyone else, and of course held up the World Cup in 1982 in Madrid. Wonderful record Italy do have in the World Cup. Beckham, referred, as you might expect here in the Italian papers, referred to as the Spice Man. Cannavaro. Now Nesta. Coming up to the halfway mark in the first half. Vieri letting it run, trying to conjure up something with a striker who replaced him at Juventus. Vieri moving off to Spanish football, and Inzaghi coming in after a great season with Atalanta. He was the top scorer in Serie A last season.
Done well, right? So it might be different for him tonight, Mark. That's got 3 or 4 free kicks. He's getting knocked down, he's getting tripped. It might be a frustrating night for him. But it's a night where he's going to take it, and take it, and take it, if it means the right result at the end of 90 minutes.
Now, who's going to take this free kick? Gascoigne, the senior man.
Certainly worth a hit, isn't it? Certainly worth a hit. Tony Adams has come up. He's an option. Southgate just made his way up.
Goes towards Adams, who gets a touch. Southgate moving in as well. Adams found the ball coming back towards him a little quicker than he would have wanted. Paul Ince has had 3 stitches in that head wound. Take more than that to stop him returning to the fray. Don't want to alarm our Scottish viewers, but the Faroe Islands have scored against Spain. It's Spain 2, the Faroe Islands 1. Foul from Andy Gray. And we've just got to be careful in everything that he does after his booking. It was fortunate for Paolo Maldini that he got the ball with that challenge, otherwise he'd have been shown a yellow card. Albertini. Zola very nearly nipped in front of Southgate. Well, he was in front of him, but he couldn't take the ball in behind the England man. Gascoigne. Graham Rousseau. If he was playing for obstruction, he didn't get it. And he's got to chase back now. Di Livio.
Offside. Yeah, quiet. Offside.
Filippo Inzaghi.
A lot of screams around us there, weren't there? You can see it's quite clear he's a good yard offside. I think the back three for England have started so well.
It is Glenn Hoddle's 13th match in charge. That's not great for the superstitious amongst you. And though a draw would suffice tonight, it's a result he's not yet experienced as England's head coach. 10 wins and just 2 defeats to the two countries that contested the last World Cup final, Brazil and Italy, of course. Ince took 2 on then. Certainly stood his ground. Like one of the Italians who has stayed down.
Maldini, I think it is, Martin.
Maldini, it is.
Well, they were two Italians trying to make Paul Ince the jam in the sandwich here. He just skips out the way. Watch this. Up he goes. A little bit stronger than the others.
What do you make, Andy, of Ince being captain tonight, as opposed to Tony Adams, who seemed the popular choice?
I think Tony was a popular choice, and I think had Tony was not just back into the game, he might well have been captain. I think Glenn's explanation as to why he chose Paul over Tony's a good one and a valid one, and I think one that Tony would accept. There's no way that Paul Ince would be thinking of anything other than England tonight and the team. And I think, as Glenn says, Tony's still feeling his way back in.
You're going to get a captain's performance from Tony Adams, whether he's got an armband on or not.
What Alan Shearer has always said, Martin, is captain, what is it? We've got 11 at international level, that's true.
But it's Italy's captain who has a problem at the moment. Incidentally, here they don't make a fuss about it, they just give it to the man who has the most caps, which is Paolo Maldini, in this case by a street. And his father is now concerned about the injury. Got another angle on it. Somewhat self-inflicted.
Yeah. I think team benches aren't a bad reflection of how the game's going, Martin. I've been keeping half an eye on them as well. And Cesare Maldini has spent the whole of the 26 minutes 57 seconds of this match on the edge of the pitch. Not happy, pulling players, as you say. It's not a tried and trusted system he's playing here tonight. They have taken a chance, he has taken a gamble, and at the moment that's the more worried bench.
And that was a foul on Gascoigne by Zola. Comfort to think of the fact that had Zola not scored and it finished goalless at Wembley, England would have already qualified coming here.
They almost got Sheringham round the back at the free kick, something that the England pay an awful lot of attention to.
So sliding in, England having other players to help out, and well read by David Batty. It's movement to the right-hand side for Beckham. On from Sheringham, right, trying to get a good position in the centre. And the drop in behind Costa Curta, couldn't do that. Italy trying to break out and finding that Gascoigne was a bit too cute for them.
Well, there was a lot made of this referee, wasn't there, before the game? And I think, in all honesty, couldn't argue with the decisions he's given so far in this match. He's been particularly fair.
Well, Italy's captain's coming back a little quicker than England's captain did earlier in the half. And the crowd recognising what he brings to their cause tonight. He's not moving too well. Gascoigne. Beckham. Sheringham guiding it down for Ince! But it flew at Peruzzi, who got his arms up to parry it back into play, and the pace off the goalkeeper stopped any England follow-up.
Well, a great effort. Brilliantly worked free kick. Isolated Sheringham on Delivio. And it worked an absolute treat. Anywhere else but straight at Peruzzi, and England might well have been one up. That was what they were trying to do, isolate him. That's a brilliant strike from Paul Ince. I think Peruzzi's a happy man. That was straight at him. Yard either side. We could well have been celebrating the first goal.
Nesta heading away as Sheringham just tried to pull away again. First really difficult task for either goalkeeper, and it was England who forced the save out of Peruzzi, who was beaten, of course, 3 times recently at Old Trafford.
Just having an eye on Paolo Maldini, Martin.
Yeah.
He's certainly not moving very comfortably, very freely.
Oh, and Gascoigne trying to release it infield to the run of Lusso as England once more put passes together in a way that shows the continuity in their play and the quality in it.
Oh yeah, they got it back to Beckham, and the idea was, I was looking at it wondering why he's sharing him around the free kick, and suddenly I realised why. Isolated him on Delivio, Beckham played the ball, Ince had joined up, and it was a quite beautiful free kick they worked. Yeah, I said England were playing with confidence and started confident. There's a great example of how confident. So much possession, dominating it at the moment.
Well, Ian Wright paying a price there for showing and making sure he got across. But the injury news is bad for Italy. Paolo Maldini has to give way to that injury, devastated by that, and he'll be replaced by Antonio Benarivo, who actually played in Nantes in the Maldini's position. Maldini missed that match in Le Tournoi between Italy and England. Benarivo then a perfect replacement in terms of the position, but he isn't Paolo Maldini.
He certainly isn't.
The captain's armband has passed across the quarter, and now a little bit of a flick-up here involving the 2 number 7s, Delivio and Beckham. Beckham too carrying 1 yellow card into this game, and we saw in France a fiery side to his nature that got himself a suspension. He missed the game against Brazil, and Ben Hoddle's been saying he hopes Beckham has learnt to quieten down and calm down. I'm afraid it didn't look in that incident that all the lessons had been learned. He didn't get booked.
Yeah, it's part of this game, and you know, you shouldn't lose it totally. I don't think Alex Ferguson wants him to lose that little edge. But you don't want to stir up any animosity feeling, anything that's going to disturb the way the game's going at the moment, because England are just doing so well, playing so well.
It's a mature performance.
Oh.
Experience very much the buzzword with Glenn Hoddle, although he wasn't telling us the team, he was trying to give us some insight into his philosophy for picking the side.
See 1-1, sitting quite calmly on the bench, the other with all the problems at the moment.
Well, he was sitting on the bench, Glenn Hoddle. I'm not sure how calm he was. I think the best place to be on a night like this is playing in the game, to be honest. All the watchers, whatever their standpoint, I'm sure all of you at home, wondering, perhaps worrying at times, but so far England have played with a poise to be proud of. Still a lot to do, though. And that was late. And
That was late.
Di Livio is... England have still got the ball. That might be lucky for Di Livio. Is the referee going to turn and show the yellow card? He should do, and he's done that.
Well, full mark to the referee in respect that he saw Ian Wright had good control, so allowed play to go on.
Checking out Graham Lasso. Harry Lewin is there as well. It was a jarring challenge. It wasn't a very nice tackle. The ball had gone. Di Livio didn't pull out.
That's a bad tackle. Quite rightly caution for it.
Well, no sooner have Italy lost their left-sided player than England is in need of some attention. But Graham Lasso soon to come back, a very independent young man, and putting that natural independence into the team pattern in international football is very, very important. Now, you may have noticed a moment or two ago that there was a disturbance in the crowd. We were disturbed to hear that the Italian authorities were selling tickets to England fans in the Italian sections of the ground, which of course is the majority of the stadium. There is a section, you're seeing that on your screen at the moment, where England supporters, the official travel club, around 7,000 of them are housed. But let's hope that's just precautionary. In Italian league football, you do still see that type of scene in the stadiums, which of course is something that's been wiped out happily in the British game. Back to the football. Let's hope so we can keep our concentration.
And that's where England are very happy at the moment. Italy just cannot get anything going at the moment. Everything's breaking down early. David Seaman has it.
Sheringham, a lovely turn from right. This is beautiful play from England again. Sheringham making up the ground, a la the goal that he got for Manchester United past Peruzzi, of course, only 10 days ago. But the cross wasn't quite in the calibre of, was it Ryan Giggs who put the ball in that Champions League game? But it's easy on the eye for English viewers again. Well, the referee having to deal with the discipline on the pitch, and the Carabinieri having to deal with these sort of scenes, which we did not want to bring you, but we cannot avoid. It's a free kick for England. Just too far away from Adams.
Again, he was half there.
There is a wider issue here, of course, with England campaigning to stage the World Cup finals in the year 2006. In official lunches to that effect today, built around the good name of Sir Bobby Charlton, whose 60th birthday it is, of course, today. It seemed very appropriate in the circumstances when you hope that England's hearts are bursting with pride.
Absolutely nowhere for Zola to go. England so tight, so compact. He was looking. Eventually, everything just closed up ahead of him.
Well, and Campbell's come underneath that. Adams making sure that no one was going to con a penalty out of any contact by him. The player who might have tried to do that, Inzaghi. Just a little error of judgment from Campbell.
Yeah, it almost surprises you as well when they make a mistake at the back, or Italy get through into the 18-yard box. such has been the quality on show, and everyone in a white shirt at the moment.
And there's responsibility, I suppose, when you look around. We talked about Adams with leadership qualities, but Campbell's been captaining Tottenham. Batty's led Newcastle this season. Sheringham's been a captain of a Tottenham team in the past. Everywhere you look, there are players who have got responsibility. David Seaman led England in their last match, and they're all helping keep it England's way to this point.
And when you look at this Italian side, 3 players you would have wanted to have kept quiet. One on the ball, Vieri. One on it now, Inzaghi, and the other Zola.
That's going to be a free kick.
And this is the first real point of danger. Any free kick from this sort of range, we know they have the quality of Zola. It won't be something new. And not so much that he can do about that.
Yes, Vieri has got a bulldozing style.
Yeah.
Careering on into Adams. Zola, of course, is around the free kick. Albertini is there as well. It's Albertini. There's a deflection which had David Seaman stranded. He was down on the ground, but the contact enough to divert the ball wide of the England goal.
Yeah, no craft. It was a hit, no. Gareth Southgate, I think, might have been the toe that it made contact with.
Here comes Zola's corner. Well, there's been another baton charge at England fans, an area where the Football Association, who have done so much homework to try and get this occasion right and safe, they had no control over this part of the stadium. And from all that we've been told, tickets have been sold indiscriminately to Italian and Englishmen alike, and that's bound, given the highly charged emotional atmosphere of this fixture, bound to lead to some sort of confrontation.
That's balmy, Mark. If that's the case, then the Italian FA certainly have some questions to answer.
Benarivo looking for Filippo Inzaghi. Vieri is there. Might be a problem here for England. Vieri's very left-footed and was trying to work it onto the left foot. England could break out at pace with Gascoigne. He had right through the centre. He had Sheringham just pulling wider to the left, and he rather bisected the two.
I just wondered if he fancied going on his own. He obviously thought that Terry Sheringham was going to continue his run. He just put the brakes on a little. By the time he'd played the pass, Terry had basically stopped. But it's the last 4 or 5 minutes has been the first time Italy really have had a say in the match in an attacking sense. Had a little bit of pressure, which England have coped with quite well.
We want these incidents to be sorted out. Well, we hope that we've seen the last of this type of episode, but the game goes on with Nesta, and Campbell right on Christian Vieri. Inzaghi disappointed that the ball didn't go towards the near post.
Big couple of minutes.
On and off the pitch, Andy, I would say.
Yeah, and it's vitally important England get to half-time.
That's wide, well wide.
I just wonder if it stays like this, Matt, whether Cesare Maldini will make any changes at half-time. He can't have been pleased with the way his team have played, whereas Glenn Hoddle, I think, will be absolutely ecstatic with the performance of his men.
Sheringham. Right, isolated. Left him a long way off, but Ian Wright doing well to draw the foul, if you like. England England a few seconds nearer to half-time. That's Campbell! Well, having got there first, he's beating the ground in frustration. It was an opportunity.
Well, in this game it might be. There'll be few and far between, you would guess. Delivery was good, the run was first class from Campbell. He gets way up above his marker. He's round about penalty spot. You could see the disappointment as soon as he knew he didn't get enough on it.
Free kick to Italy. And another free kick, not much further forward. It would be a blow to England of a very serious nature if Italy found a way past David Seaman so close to half-time. Zola hands on hips, we've seen that so often before as he assesses the situation. And that's no trouble.
Well, that's some problem, we'll take that all night.
Well, we invite you to round off your sporting viewing tonight with world title boxing. Prince Nassim Hamed in his native Sheffield, also Chris Eubank, a startling comeback for him, a pay-per-view event, Sky Box Office, 0990 800 888, 0990 800 888 for information. Sheringham. Olivier knows that position well, and he's defending well in those circumstances. It is a yellow card for Paul Gascoigne.
I think he's been pretty fair, the referee, and that sort of thing. Yellow cards, it's a little late pause, Trick comes in, gets a bit of the ball. But having decided, the referee, that it was a free kick, no surprise that it was a yellow card.
Zola. England looking to really stand firm here. Well, Vieri in the end put his arms up, so that gives you an idea of the fact that it was away from him, but from our distance, which is quite a long way back, it looked for a second as though it was within his range, and any sort of touch would have had Seaman stranded. Here's Wright, steering it off towards Sheringham, but not finding it. Di Livio. Demetrio Albertini of Milan, who's been having such a rough start to the season in Serie A. And Inzaghi almost taking that on the burst. Beckham with the skill to keep the ball, win England the throw.
Well, I can't emphasise how well England have played this opening 48 minutes now, we're fast approaching. It's been a first-class performance. All the preparation that managers make, Glenn would have made it, I mean, meticulous. You just don't know how your players are going to react to it all. It can fault absolutely no one.
Vieri turning Southgate, and called handball against Ince, who stares at the referee. So there might yet be another scare for England before the half-time whistle goes. Handball there.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky. He was very close to Vieri, and he did hit it with some pace. I'm not so sure Paul could have done an awful lot about it. Well, they've got Vieri out of the penalty area, which might suggest that he fancies it.
Well, he's the left footer, but it was a bludgeoning effort.
Pressure was good. Ian Wright, that was his job, throwing himself at it.
Great kick from David Seaman. And keeps it calm, as much as you can ever apply that adjective to a night such as this. Gascoigne. And Ian Wright on a run, the type of which unhinged Italy in Nantes. Olivia. Well, we're in the 5th minute of time added on at the end of the first half. We've had injuries, of course, for Ince and Maldini. Lasseau was off the pitch for a little while.
The thing is, Mark, they went off pretty quickly, all of them. And I think this is pretty generous, this amount of time. It wasn't as if they were all treated on the pitch.
There is Lasseau. Sheringham. Now Gascoigne. And passing the ball scientifically again. Beckham. This is great play. Sheringham. David Beckham! Well, that would have rubber-stamped England's first half performance.
Absolutely carved them open. Absolutely top-class football. Little gives and goes all over the place. Beckham's way, looking to place it. He's very, very close. Just sat up just as he played it.
What a place it would be for David Beckham to score his first international goal. The only England player who started all 8 of the group games under Glenn Hoddle. Well, England 45 minutes nearer their target. Football-wise, it's been a splendid story to bring you in the first half. 0-0 at half-time, it could have been even better. Paul Ince passing on to this header from Teddy Sheringham. Peruzzi beating it out, and just before half-time, David Beckham coming so close to rounding off another move of high quality. Fan-wise, it hasn't been so happy. We'll try and keep you up to date with that as well. But at half-time in the Olympic Stadium in Rome, so far so good, it's 0-0.
Titles are at stake on Judgment Night. It's make or break for Chris Eubank.
That was awesome.
Fighting against the big-hitting and undefeated Joe Calzaghe for the Super Middleweight Championship of the world.
I want the championship.
Sheffield's own Ryan Rhodes steps into uncharted territory to face Yuri Epipatsev, the Russian challenger in a world title eliminator.
Stunning stuff.
And finally, Prince Naseem has got himself a real fight. Against the only other boxer to have floored Tom Johnson, Jose Badillo.
There's no way I'm going to get beat.
It's time for the champion to be tested. Judgment Night Part 2, the full Monty, tonight at 10 on Sky Box Office.
To order Judgment Night Part 2, call 0990 800 800. Book now for just $14.95. Cable viewers, contact your local operator.
Speaking of happiness, you never thought of mine. Mentioning loneliness, I feel lonely all the time. Speaking of happiness, why did it have to leave? Speaking of faithlessness, why couldn't we just believe? I love you so very much.
Dying moment. One last attack. Shearer setting off through the centre. Long ball to Shearer. Shearer!
Lucozade Sport is designed for top athletes. It delivers fluid and energy fast, so I'm always ahead of the game. Well, almost always. Cheers, lads.
An unbelievable goal!
Are you hiding something? Underneath the hair you have is the hair you want. Reveal your hair's true potential with new Pantene system. Now with even more provitamin B5, nothing penetrates deeper, while the formula replenishes shine from root to tip. Even damaged hair can become healthy looking hair can become shiny. Try it for 14 days and see. New Pantene Pro V system for hair that looks so healthy it shines. Go ahead, release your hair's true potential.
The average cow passes enough wind in a week to inflate a hot air balloon.
It goes in.
Football, football, football. We get nothing but football morning, noon and night.
Shut up.
Stop, come on!
Have an Eric, boy.
Confidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as. A morning suit can be avoided if you take a route straight through what is known as. John's got brewer's fruit, he gets intimidated by the dirty pigeons. They love a bit of him. Who's that gut lord marching? You should cut down on your pork life, mate. Get some exercise.
All the people, so many people, they all go.
From there, you're going with the fight. You're going with the fight. Why have you done that? Because you ain't them.
Know what I mean?
There's more world-class action later tonight on Skybox Office when Prince Nazim Hamed defends his world title against Jose Badillo. The Puerto Ricans lost just once, and that a points defeat by the former world champion Tom Johnson. It's a special pay-per-view event at 10. For more information, the number to call is 0990 800 888. 0990 800 888. That's part 2 of Judgment Night. Sorry to have to keep talking about what appears to be developing into trouble, but that section that we're looking at there, we have heard from an FA spokesman, is an area they have no control on at all. None of these boys are official FA travellers. They've all got tickets from unofficial sources, and maybe there is a repeated lesson in what I tell you. Most of the England fans that have travelled, most if not all of those who have travelled with the official travel club, we heard earlier from police sources, have been absolutely impeccably behaved. Match back, goalless at half-time. 6 attempts from Italy, 3 from England. The only player to hit the target, Paul Ince. 1 corner. God, it's tight, isn't it? 3 booked, Gascoigne and Campbell from England. Delivio from Italy. Possession partway through that half was encouraging. It still is. Look at that. Action areas dominated by Italy. Bobby Robson, Roy Hodgson, our guests here today. Delighted, Bob. Would that be fair so far?
Well in control. I mean, even when we lost Ince for 10 minutes and we were down to 10 men, it looked as though we had 12 players on the pitch. Never lost possession, very patient, very accurate in our passing, and we've controlled the game. We're halfway home, aren't we, in a way? Halfway
yes, I accept that.
Halfway home,
Might
halfway
have been
house.
better. Might have been better, Roy. England got Ince in from a very intricate free kick, and he was unlucky, wasn't he?
He struck it well, but Peruzzi stood up well, didn't he? And unfortunately, the rebound just went past Paul. If he could have just had a bit of luck there, the rebound might have fell in his path. But Peruzzi got enough on it to knock it past him. But ever so well, Ted Sheringham there, and it's a very controlled strike. And as you see, Paul just misses the rebound there, where he maybe could have caught Peruzzi off balance.
Expect chances at this level, Bob, to be few and far between, so you've got to take them when they come. About 50 minutes played, and David Beckham had one.
Yes, he did, with our best football perhaps of the night.
Absolutely. As
When
Andy said, he
Sheringham
was unlucky because
yes.
it did just pop up, didn't it?
Yes, it did, yes. And Sheringham played a vital part here. If Sheringham has not been quite so prominent as he should be, and he's a talented player, and I love Sheringham. But for the first time, he got really involved in the match, set it up for Beckham, and Beckham with a better control of the shot.
You know how he feels.
I know how he feels, because that goal would have clinched this game. But we're still in a wonderful position, nothing lost, and the Italians...
They've got the problems, Roy, haven't they, at the moment, the Italians?
Yeah, they're not playing very well. I was a bit concerned right at the very beginning when Zola went out wide on the left side, and I could see David Beckham having problems there. I think Glenn might have seen it, because I saw that Sol Campbell pushed out much further to the right. Zola now seems to be playing more central, or wandering really. I think he's just wandering, trying to find some space, and that suits us better when he's more central. I don't like it when he goes wide and stays wide.
Yeah, it was the one area where we were a little bit shaky in the first 20 minutes. Zola played behind Beckham. Sol Campbell had a problem because he was marking Vieira, and Zola was a little bit free. Fortunately, Beckham did some fairly good defensive work in that particular area.
We'll talk more in a minute, Bob. Got to go, I'm afraid. Got to take a break. Those are the official England supporters. Look, that's what we want to see, isn't it? No problems. And so far, for England, what a temp fate. No problem here either. Goalless at half-time.
It's happening on Sky. Movies, John Travolta, Christian Slater, Broken Arrow, Get Up Close, Robert Redford, and Personal, Michelle Pfeiffer, Richard Gere, Primal Fear, Susan Sarandon, Sean Penn.
Dead man walking.
Rafe Fiennes, Strange Days, Ian McKellen, Kristen Scott Thomas, Richard III, Kurt Russell, Executive Decision, Rugby Union, more great Premiership action, and a brand new series of ER, and soon the new series of Friends. Right now, it's all happening on Sky.
Ain't it cool?
I was basking in the cool of my Vector's air conditioning when... Take me to the old chemical works. My Clarky's packing a piece, so I don't argue. I turn on my Vector's new navigational gizmo, the Corrie.
Turn right.
It says. My ABS cuts in when I see some cops. And while he eats carpet, I change the route. This is a shortcut, I tell him. But not to where he wants to go. One step ahead of the mob.
Do you want a flake in that, love?
Ta.
Most business decisions can be based on logic or gut feeling. This simple exercise will help you make a business decision about how you travel to Paris and Brussels.
Fact. Eurostar Premium First gives you a 10-minute check-in. Fact. A journey to Paris by plane is fragmented. On Eurostar, it's seamless. Fact. The airport is outside Paris. The station is central. Eurostar complimentary taxi on arrival. Fact. The train looks really cool.
Now it's time to make that business decision.
Passion, football. Jealousy, football. Love, football. Ambition, football. Sky's superb new football drama, Dream Team, begins Tuesday at 6 on Sky 1.
Judgment Night Part 2 tonight with the return of Chris Eubank fighting for his old world title against the unbeaten Welshman Joe Calzaghe. Eubank and Prince Nazim Hamed top the bill. It's a special pay-per-view event at 10 tonight on Sky Box Office. The telephone number 0990 800 888 0990 800 888. Scotland, I'm delighted to tell you, have qualified as the best second place finishers. Spain beat the Faroe Islands tonight by 3-1, so Scotland go through, that's great. Belgium beat Wales 3-2, so Belgium are through. And earlier today, the Republic beat Romania to grab one of the qualifying places as well. Belgium are in the qualifying places, I should say, by the way. But the Republic also take one of those. Here, it's anybody's game. 0-0, Bobby Robson, Roy Hodgson are with us. It's tight, Bob, isn't it? One chance, one slip, one moment of magic.
We said it was never going to be 3-0, and I don't think it will, but a free kick will win it. A tasty shot, a shot on the turn from Sheringham, or a deflection as we nearly saw when Italy had a free kick in a dangerous position. We've got to be careful not to give away important free kicks.
The Italians have got some questions to answer. Chiesa, we think, is coming on, Roy. How might that change things around for Italy?
He's very fast, very direct, excellent strike with the ball. I mean, to be quite honest, Inzaghi has looked out of place here, and Vieri, as yet, touch wood, has not caused us any problems. Chiesa is a player that really have to keep a very close eye on, because he's got a very good eye for goals. So I would have preferred to see him staying on the bench, to be quite honest with you.
Do we still fancy England?
Yes, I do, yes. I mean, the first half has shown us that we are better than they are. We've passed it more accurately. We've kept possession better. We've had better possession of the ball, but the statistics will tell you that. We've never looked in danger except for the deflection of the free kick. I even think on free kicks gained by us, we could be just that little bit more advantageous. I know we have to be careful that we don't set up all our big defenders, because we have to defend on counter-attack. But I think Adams, with Sheringham, with Wright, and maybe Saul Campbell, can give more danger to us on free kicks in aerial positions.
It's been a very accomplished performance so far, Roy. Did you think you would ever see England arrive on a stage like this and perform so well?
Well, it always amazes me to keep hearing, you know, as we saw Gianfranco Zola, you know, England play differently now. They play a long ball game. I can remember, you know, Bobby's team's playing this type of football. Okay, we're getting better and better at it, but, you know, I struggle sometimes to remember when this long ball game was played by England. You know, I think we've been a bit unlucky there. I'd like to see the front players meeting the ball a bit quicker. I think they've got to be very careful. The back players, Cannavaro and Nestor, young players, they want to win the ball in front. If we could just keep meeting the ball, I think we can turn them around and get in and score a goal.
Well, the Italians are back, ready for business, but no sign of England just yet. So maybe the games continue. But they're ready for it. Maldini's been by far and away the more anxious coach. Ince and plaster cast. What is it? What's on the head then? Doesn't matter what it is. It's stopping the blood from 3 stitches, isn't it?
I was thinking it's an interesting fact that they're so far away. You know, that 8 minutes I think England played with 10 men should really have been 3 or 4 minutes, because you waste 4 minutes getting from here back up to the treatment room or the dressing room. It's the problem at this Olympic Stadium.
Big 45 minutes left in the Olympic Stadium. Italy 0, England 0. Let's rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, Cesare Maldini has had to turn to a player he's not used before, Enrico Chiesa of Parma, who was in the Euro 96 squad. He comes on for his 6th international appearance. He's scored 3 goals for his country, so that should be a warning in itself for what he might offer to England's prospects here. 2 famous international footballing powers vying for the direct route to the prized place in France. Remember, the new playoff principle is there to cushion the fall of the country that fails this evening, but looking at countries like Yugoslavia, Russia, Ukraine, Republic of Ireland, they're in the playoffs. There's nothing straightforward about the new system that's been brought in to bring extra European qualifiers to those who get through by winning their group. Down goes Ian Wright. Paul incidentally has had a couple more stitches put in. That cut scalp.
Well, I reckon we just had a quick word with Beckham, Martin, about perhaps wasting a little bit of time even early on.
Adams. Beckham, about whom there was a certain amount of doubt in the pre-match speculation whether he'd be out with a cold or even out in the cold because of a tactical switch that some were suggesting Glenn Hoddle might use to curb Paolo Maldini, who of course didn't finish the first half, and that loss of a great player and an inspirational man shouldn't be underestimated. Benarivo has found it hard to make an impact as his replacement as yet. He's the number 14.
I think that did help England, as Bobby and Roy were saying at half-time. The only real problems they had, England, if any, were early on in the match, when Maldini was playing left and they were pushing Zola onto David Beckham. That was the only threat you could see. With Maldini not here, Benarivo's not really had any great influence in the game. And one word of caution, I suppose, of us one is that I don't think Italy can play as bad second half.
Albertini. Well, we've seen in World Cups, of course, Italy play badly and still progress. They have a knack of doing what's required.
But 0-0 ain't good enough tonight.
No. England can keep this extraordinary record of not having conceded a goal on their travels in the group, then Tony Adams and co can make their plans for France. But there's still Zola to be concerned about. Benarivo. Vieri going up once and twice. Livio picking it back in towards Dino Baggio, and there's a bit of pushing there, spotted by a referee who I must say has not bowed to any of the pressure that the crowd might be able to impart onto a less experienced official, Mario van der Ende.
I think it's a free kick given against Baggio. Tony Adams goes up there, look at Baggio, jumps into him.
That's quite right, he's put his whistle to his mouth there.
Yeah, and I think that was a free kick, but Adams there claimed two good headers. And that's his job, and he went to claim the ball as it bounced and as it came across.
Well, it's Italy doing the worrying at the moment. They have to do the winning. Stalemate suffices for England. Zola. Now Benarivo. Albertini's ball. Dino Baggio shot. That's more encouraging from the Italian perspective.
Well, almost 50 minutes and the best piece of football we've seen from the Italians in the match. But that's what I mean, I don't think they can play as badly, so it's so important. There's a lovely little nick-off from Chiesa. Baggio just gets on the blind side of Paul Gascoigne, perhaps. Paul just attracted to the ball a touch as this is nicked off. He's certainly capable of doing better than that, Baggio. I'm happy to see it go high and wide.
Yes, just to remind you, it is Dino Baggio, of course, is an established international, not Robbie Baggio, whose career seems to be drawing to a close internationally. Di Livio. Albertini. Remember, Italy did start the first half threateningly, and England got into their stride and really took the heat out of the situation with the type of international football that it used to be said that England couldn't produce. Coordinated, controlled, and with a great respect and love for the ball itself. Possession so important at this level. A little contact there between two players of the same height, Chiesa and Ince.
Yeah, it just happened. that free kick in the edge of the box a little earlier.
Nesta. Benarivo. No, Christian Vieri. Albertini. England's throw. No smiles on Italian faces at the moment. It could change in an instant, of course, and concentration is absolutely vital for England. Sheringham, that's a bit slovenly.
But any time, even if England have passed the ball badly, and it hasn't been often, giving it away sloppily, they haven't worked so hard to get people behind the ball.
Zola working hard to get on the ball on a regular basis. He couldn't do that in the first half. Olivia. Albertini trying to pass it through England. Beckham back in that defensive side of his wing-back role. Nesta's back pass. Peruzzi in a hurry. Time is against Italy, it's on England's side.
And then it's noticeable, just up to tempo, a touch in the second half, that's noticeable. Zola's got far more involved in the opening 6 minutes of this half.
Benarivo. Also seeing more of the ball, conspicuously so.
I think happy to see them come in field like that, Martin.
Nesta making his own luck.
I think Benarivo and Delivio have wide players who, well, I think I'm quite happy to see them turn in field and drive into the centre where England are so strong at the moment.
He got through Gascoigne then. I just wonder whether that incident back in '94, the broken leg between the two of them teammates in training here in Rome, whether that went through Gaz's mind. Came back off Vieri's head. Yorkshire grit supplied by David Batty, and if he could touch on a football to go with it. And a magnificent match in Georgia. Batty's there again. The whistle's gone because Batty was being pursued somewhat cynically by Albertini, who's left his foot in once or twice. Referee Van der Ende has given England the free kick. Almost enticement by Batty to get Albertini into trouble then, within the laws of the game, if you see what I mean. Sort of thing that perhaps in the past Italians have done to English players. England have it again with Gascoigne. Sheringham. That's going to be a free kick. Well within sight of Peruzzi's goal.
Yeah, that'll do it. Again, it was a good little give and go. Beckham drifted infield. Just got a little bit behind him as he got it back off Terry Sheringham. Can't be an argument, that's a free kick. Again, a good decision. Referee right on the spot.
Well, in a game of relatively few chances, Roy Hodgson and Bobby Robson were speculating at half-time maybe a set piece would settle it. Peruzzi struggling to have a look, and Beckham struggling to get the ball over the wall, but because the wall wasn't far enough back. Costa Curta complaining. Well, it must be Costa Curta who's booked, because Delivio got a yellow card in the first half. He's stretching the referee's patience.
Well, I think that shows how anxious they are, the Italians. I just think we should just say, yeah, let's see more of that. More dissent, more anxiety.
10 minutes gone in the second half. take two at David Beckham's free kick, if it is to be Beckham.
It'll be Beckham or Gascoigne. So sure of it.
Referee saying get the wall back. Gascoigne just jogs away. Here goes Beckham, and he got it over the wall this time. But not the dip. England don't need to get involved in any spoiling or any war of words.
No, and they don't want to incite anything that gets the crowd going, get some vocals. Been pretty quiet second half. And then people we can hear singing around here are England fans with full voice.
Cries of Rule Britannia. On a day when Britain has already got one World Cup qualifier, Craig Brown, Scotland. Albertini, and that would have been his most penetrating pass of the match.
A great play from Batty, man. The Sow just got caught ahead of the play. And as Batty not just dropped and filled in, well, there was real trouble.
Campbell winning it solidly, and Italy unable to get out of their own half. Vieri having a little pop at the referee, claiming he was fouled. Costa Curta. Like a harmony from Italy, trying to build from the back. Talking about a nation who played 15 World Cup ties in the capital and won all 15, remember.
I'll take that. Good play again, forcing Delivio across the face rather than wide.
Here is Delivio. He can't get it back. And then continue to apply the industry. Cesare Maldini and some 75,000 Italian voices, all for Italy to get the decision. It goes England's way. Gascoigne pushing well forward down that far side. He's been kept away from the media limelight. Those Italian players, Casiraghi and Ferrara, watch, wondering whether they're going to be involved in a playoff situation, which England are hoping to avoid. And there's Beckham coming in, and it's Ian Wright. And there weren't time for that many touches. Italy got to him quickly. It's won back by Campbell. Wright still waiting in the centre. Here's Chiesa, the second half substitute.
David Beckham did well that chance. Decided to drive in field.
Chiesa staying on his feet. Southgate didn't, but still got his challenge in. Talking about leadership qualities in the first half, I don't think I mentioned Gareth Southgate, captain of Aston Villa. Benarivo and for England. Whacked away by Graham Rousseau. Just over half an hour to go. Such a single-minded man. England's head coach kept his cards close to his chest. Well, here's Alessandro Del Piero, who, believe it or not, hasn't featured yet in Italy's World Cup campaign. But of course, in the Champions League, we've seen so much of him, so much good work, so many goals for Juventus, and he scored against Manchester United 10 days ago. Zola. Now Albertini. Half an hour left. Early cross from Di Livio, trying to use the strength of Vieri. It's a good turn by Chiesa, beaten away by Seaman.
Good save. I would have been surprised if David had been beaten from that type of angle. The shot was a fierce one.
The foul then by Benarivo.
Good play. Tricks. Gareth Southgate. That's a good push away from the danger area, not across goal where there was danger, but back out and away again.
Fourth official's been talking both to Glenn Hoddle and Cesare Maldini about staying within the technical area.
Mainly Maldini, Martin, it has to be said.
But some encouragement for the home fans. And Chiesa with a contribution there that gave England and Southgate in particular something to think about. Ince. Gascoigne threading the pass through for Paul Ince. It goes in again with Benarivo. The England supporters trying to cheer their favourites through the time that remains. If it stays this way, there'll be some celebration at the final whistle. But Italy still with plenty of time to have their say, have their cause for joy at the end of the evening. But they're being made to look ordinary, it must be said, by England.
You're absolutely right, it is by England. They look more and more desperate as the minutes go by, the Italians. England doing to them what they've done to so many teams over the years, Martin, sitting deep, playing it nice and tight, and just controlling football. It's exactly what they're playing.
Playing with their heads and their hearts.
Yeah.
And forcing that sort of foul, Sheringham able to withstand the challenge so that England were keeping the ball.
Yeah, this is going to be invaluable, this sort of thing.
Well, Del Piero has been in the wonder boy category as far as domestic football is concerned and has a pretty good international record, but here's England's wonder boy, David Beckham.
That must be a yellow card. Gotta be, it is. Benarivo. He was through David Beckham, left Benarivo for dead. Oh, it's Zola that's coming off, Martin. That again must be a plus, surely. To see Gianfranco Zola, one who they depend so much upon.
Well, he hasn't been able to weave the magic for Italy tonight. And I must say, if you ask most England fans to name two Italians to play who you worry about, Maldini and Zola, well, they're both gone as far as this fixture is concerned. And England have a free kick. Looking for good movement in the middle.
Corner, should be. Gascoigne so close. But it was a corner. Again, the Italians are complaining, I think. But it's certainly a corner. I think Gascoigne might have scored there, Martin, had it not taken the deflection.
England ready to take the corner as well. But now there's a free kick. Put some pushing in there, and Italy anxious to get the ball back and get the game going again.
They've almost won with a free now, Italy. Chiesa and Del Piero surrounding Vieri.
Del Piero, who's got 7 goals in 14 appearances for Italy, but none in the World Cup. He's a real star in the Tour Noir, of course, which we brought you on Sky Sports. The yellow card out again for Albertini.
Long overdue. He has been putting it about tonight.
That's been typical of Albertini tonight, right from the start.
We normally associate him with craft and skill and ability.
Well, they used Italian teams in the past to getting bags of possession against England sides that they always claimed were predictable. And they also claimed were easy to beat in Italy. Great respect for England in front of home fans. But
this is a different England.
This
mentally, I think they've arrived here thinking we can not only get the right result, we could win this game. And I think that's the type of performance they've given tonight. Full of authority, full of mental strength. Saying all these good things, I keep forgetting there are, what, 25 minutes left, and anything can happen at this level. Italy are not a side full of poor players. They've got some excellent footballers on the field, and anything can happen.
All we can say with absolute certainty is that England deserve, at the very least, to be 0-0 with Italy in Italy with 66 minutes gone. So it's Del Piero trying to pose the problems now at the set plays. They're waiting for the tall figure of Nesta to come up. Dino Baggio is very good in the air. But it's a free kick that England find easy to defend. Gascoigne committing himself, Benarivo outskilling England's number 8. Adams. Baggio got to it, Del Piero will stand firm again. Gascoigne caught in possession. What was one feature of the way England beat Italy in Nantes in very different circumstances, we'd all agree to that, was the swiftness with which England moved the ball around the pitch. And Declan was playing in the centre of midfield, and of course Paul Scholes was in the team. He's one of the players available to Glenn Hoddle from the bench tonight, along with the Neville brothers, Nicky Butt, Steve McManaman, Robbie Fowler, and Ian Walker, the substitute goalkeeper.
Just got to be careful. Talked about that concentration. This is important. Although they've defended these free kicks from these areas absolutely first class, just don't want the last 20 minutes of inviting needless free kicks in, needless pressure on your defenders who have played so well. Does give the big lads from the back a chance to come up.
Well, Chiesa to take the free kick this time. Another spin away for a corner. Wonder the referee was waving his arm first in one direction and then the other. But a corner it is. Chiesa takes it. England get the first head to it through Ince. And it's great defending from the front from Ian Wright.
That's super stuff. I have to say, absolutely super stuff. Your front man on his own, pressure. Lombardo will know all about Wrighty. You won't be surprised at that.
Attilio Lombardo of Crystal Palace, not named amongst the substitutes for Italy, though he was in the original squad of 23. Well, the rules about blood spilling very strict these days, and if the cut is not patched up properly, then Paul Ince has to go off.
Just gets a huge big blob of Vaseline on that. Hold it as long as possible. He won't want to be off for too long, and England won't want him to be off for too long.
Oh, a hand up there from Beckham. We ask you, as always, with our coverage on Sky Sports, to vote for Man of the Match. A replica England kit available for one lucky caller, 0891 111101. Let us know your thoughts.
So Adams was absolutely brilliant there, Tony Adams. Experience, did it show through there? He just leant against Vieri, got in front of him, waited till the Italian touched him, just fell over a little bit. That was it. Shades of Terry Butcher there, eh?
Terry Butcher, who's with the media party and played in our winning England press team this morning, along with Kenny Sansom. Bandaged up, Paul Ince is back. Foul against Lasso. England weren't too happy about. Di Francesco, another of the squad members, not involved as a substitute for Italy. No, that's going to be a foul, Vieri. That'll just help England.
Eat a little bit of time. Take your time with every free kick now. Every set piece you can. Just buy a little bit of time. So close.
Well, isn't it fascinating? Italy, for so long, the masters of the 0-0 draw. If you had to pick any nation in the world to seek out a situation that will do for England tonight, you'd go with the Italians. And they struggle when they're being asked to do more than that. Again, England must take absolutely nothing for granted until the final whistle blows. "18 minutes away from a place in the elite next summer." Tell by the smile on Paul Ince's face when he was getting bandaged up how much he's enjoying the occasion, and England playing with such belief that they are better than Italy.
I think they believe that, and they're certainly showing that tonight.
Del Piero is chasing. Campbell's got to be calm, and Del Piero is there, and the referee is booking Del Piero for diving. Oh, that was a heart-stopping moment.
Oh, it wasn't half. Tony Adams, the right leg comes out, but doesn't matter. It comes out, whether it catches him I'm not sure, but it certainly comes out. Del Piero certainly, the referee's the best, absolutely first-class position he was in. Probably the best place, right behind the incident. Would have seen had the leg make contact or not. He thought not.
For a second there, undoubtedly the nastiest moment for England followers of the whole evening so far.
Well, they just got caught for the first time, 2v2. Never been stretched all evening at the back. Got caught 2 against 2, Del Piero and Vieri.
Adams easing it away this time to Campbell. Touched on by Sheringham. Right, still running like the spring chicken that he always seems to be, despite the fact that he'll be 34 next month. Would you be tempted to change it as Glenn Hoddle is looking at it here?
No, I wouldn't, Mark, not in the slightest. I mean, unless people are feeling a little bit tired.
Well, on that basis.
Yeah, that would be the only thing, and then it would be down to Glenn to assess it at pitch level, as I'm sure he's doing now. But he couldn't change the way they couldn't change it, Mark. Managers are loath to change things when they're going so well. Glenn, I'm sure, is no exception. I can't see much you could do to make it any better for England.
Well, Cesare Maldini's options are all over. He's got his 3 substitutes on. What he can do is work within the shape of the 11 that are out there. This is Delivio, and this is David Seaman. All the shots come at that pace from that distance. He'll be delighted. Baggio. Oh, and well, they got the runner in behind Chiesa on that far side.
Thought he looked offside when that move was taken, building up. He looks 2 or 3 yards ahead of the play. Maybe Gareth Southgate just played him on. But this has happened all night. Whenever there's been a threat, someone, Adams, Southgate, or Campbell has snuffed it out.
Well, Italy looking for the one goal that could turn it all their way, and Vieri throwing all his weight into the challenge at the corner, not getting the height that would have enabled him to get over the ball.
Yeah, he was a little disappointed, but I think this was a difficult header. Just got in between Paul Gascoigne and Paul Ince.
Well, another reminder that you can switch from World Cup football to world title boxing. Prince Nassim Hamed and Chris Eubank on the Sky box office bill, a pay-per-view event. 0990 800 888 0990 800 888. It's coming up straight after the football on Sky box office. Del Piero taking on 2, and Sol Campbell.
Galibio's in trouble, Martin.
Well, the card has come out,
and he's off
for a second time for Galibio. Italy are down to 10 men.
It just gets better.
And the odds swing England's way even further.
Sol Campbell was absolutely superb there. He was certainly helped with David Beckham, but he looked like he was beaten by Del Piero. He recovered beautifully, came away with the ball, and then has the pace to catch it up and just nick it away. And oh, that's an awful tackle. That's a yellow card, and quite rightly, he's off.
Well, Delivio, who caught Graham Lasso in the first half, careering into Campbell in the second half. And Italy now will have to dig very, very deep as England supporters in Italy's adversity find something extra to cheer about. Right. That's a corner. Again, the referee, who wasn't sure, and he's never lost his cool, and he just waited for a rather dilatory assistant to point down to the corner quadrant to indicate that it was England's ball and David Beckham's corner to take. Not too many have come forward this time. The ball's beyond Campbell. It's cleared to the easily recognisable Paul Ince. Ian Wright was offside. Campbell puts the ball in the net, but it's not going to count.
Well, now they want him booked, and I think Sol Campbell's one of the England players that has been booked.
Yes.
And I just, you know, there's 1 or 2 referees, wouldn't they, Mark, that might have decided that Sol Campbell's wasting time by knocking that in the net. Don't do anything stupid, Sol.
Albertini. Chiesa gets his cross in. Campbell has to glance it behind for the corner, and the job not done by England yet.
Well, you can't assume it is. This is a huge footballing nation. They're not going to accept what they've seen at the moment.
Del Piero with the corner. Partially away by David Beckham. Benarivo to cross it in again. Flag has gone up. Free kick to England.
Yeah, he just drifted offside. They're just lacking ideas. I mean, it sounds strange to say this, but Italian football, people have criticised English football for so long, but lacking in ideas. I've watched a performance tonight that really, in many respects, Martin, has lacked the craft and the ability and the guile to break down this wonderful England defence at the moment.
Can it be wonderful for 10 more minutes against 10 Italian men?
Well, if it is, I promise I'll hold on to your legs so you don't drift up into the roof of the stand, all right?
Italy's free kick. Albertini. Nesta. Del Piero. Now Baggio. Chiesa. Was Del Piero, can he reach it? Well, that was very close to the moment that Cesare Maldini is dreaming of.
Well, in many ways, Mark, the fact that Sol Campbell missed the ball helped him, because Del Piero just checked.
In goes Vieri. I must say, there's been no suggestion that this is a hometown referee at all.
Well, this is the incident. Vieri just looking to knock it into Del Piero's path, but you can see that Sol Campbell just missed the ball. Del Piero had checked his run, and that was a little incident that gave Southgate a chance to mop it up.
As the corner came in and Vieri headed it on, ball was not behind for what would have been a corner, but there was some bit of pushing by Del Piero. Free kick to England, and some of the Italian fans are giving up on their team.
More good news.
Lasso, player with a French name, of course. I believe deep down some French qualifications. Well, he's getting closer and closer to being available to go to France with England. Cannavaro. Del Piero, who mustn't be underestimated. Ince summing up the battle with the bloodstained shirt and the nail-biting scenario for Italy. Cushioned, as I say, by these playoffs.
No, just complacency. I think that's the biggest danger as we approach the remaining few minutes of this match.
At this level, switch off for a second and you can pay a heavy price, so high are the stakes. There'll be no easy ride for England in these closing minutes, you can be sure of that. Ince and Adams. Sheringham, thoughtful pass for Beckham. He's got the skill to keep the ball and the belief in that skill. Sheringham.
They've got the ability
again
to use the extra man, just pass, keep it. They showed that when they were down to 10 men themselves, when they were dominating possession even then.
This is Graham Lasso. Sheringham and Reiter in the centre. Free kick to England. Graham Lasso just needs to not let that hot temper of his get the better of him, even if he was whacked in the face. It's easy to say, but England are in the driving seat here. Don't give the referee any excuses. Costa Curta, the culprit, one of those players who has been booked, and so doesn't need to clench the fist.
No.
England want to be raising their arms in the right way on the final whistle. That'll do. Sheringham, Campbell, Wright. Crowd are turning against Italy. England could really reinforce that point from the free kick. Gascoigne was the object of some perhaps Roma fans turning against him as well. The bottle on the pitch is one.
Do you know what they're saying, Mark? They're saying, this is for you. I think that's what the Costa Curta seem to be
Something
saying.
else is coming on as well towards Gascoigne.
I don't think they're happy with the referee, the Italians. I think that's an absolute certainty, but he's been nothing but fair in this match.
Well, England with Gascoigne ruffling the net, but on the outside trying to catch out Peruzzi, who hasn't had too much to do, with an audacious attempt at goal from that angle. And we're coming towards 5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Sweaty palms, Andy, and it's not just because it's a warm night in Rome. Ince. Batty. Now Lasso. Italy finding it hard to get the ball with D'Olivio sent off. They've got it now with Baggio and Albertini. And three breaking, one right, one through the centre. And Del Piero joining Vieri in the middle. And now it's...
Yeah, they might get booked.
A tussle there. Let's see if the referee producing the card for Chiesa and for Southgate.
He likes to get stuck in, that Chiesa, doesn't he? Every time he's been touched or tackled, he's got up angrily, looking to fight with everyone.
And Italy still remember a meaningful touch of the ball away from ruining England's night and making it a night of home jubilation. 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Italy have the free kick. And there's David Beckham. They can't get it past the first man. And Gascoigne, who was booked, remember, earlier. Any foul, you wonder now how the referee might react. It's another free kick for England to defend. Most recognisable player on the pitch got that one away. Paul Ince. Then Arrivo. Slipping infield of Teddy Sheringham. Flying through the air to make the header was Lasso.
Great header. Height and distance.
Back it goes from Cannavaro towards Del Piero. Remember, the referee added on a good 5 minutes in the first half. And Italy press. Baggio in the centre. Vieri there as well.
Well, there's activity down there, yeah.
Got to be a change, and Nicky Butt is being asked to come on and see it through, help England see it through. Free kick against them, against Batty.
That might be more to do with just quieting the game for a bit, trying to get Butt on. Just taking the heat out of this situation.
England pulling everyone back. Butt has to wait. Campbell climbs the highest. Back in from Benarivo. David Seaman, a giant amongst goalkeepers and a giant in the penalty area. Then he has to kick it quickly, of course.
Yeah.
That's the legislation when he'd love to have dwelt on the ball, given England time to regroup, to stop it coming straight back, but it's gone beyond Vieri.
It's so easy for him to have forgotten that, you know, in the heat of this intense battle we've got here, having caught it quite beautifully, to maybe have said, take it easy, lads. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Paul Gascoigne comes off. And Nicky Butt of Manchester United, who of course just helped the psychological battle for this fixture with that wonderful win over Juventus. So many of that side in the squad, although not too many as it turned out in Ben Hoddle's starting team. But Nicky Butt joins England for the closing minutes. And he's into the thick of it straight away. Right. Paul Ince. Now Campbell. Right. Ince has got space. Sheringham is there if he can find it. Not too much on for Sheringham.
They don't want too much on, Martin. Just do what they're doing, just keep the ball, don't overcommit. But it ain't bad, they come into the Olympic Stadium where they've never dropped a point, let alone being defeated Italy. And the first, I suppose, negative moment of the night is in the 89th minute when they take Paul Gascoigne off and replace him with Nicky Butt.
I can tell you the man of the match, the viewers' vote goes to Paul Ince, picked as captain.
Yeah. In all fairness, Martin, they've had 11 men in the match tonight. They've all been giants.
Cesare Maldini says you've got to go forward, and Italy have got a free kick. And we're into time added on. Is it going to be a heartbreaking finale? If Italy can conjure up a goal right at the very end. Sheringham did very well to defend from the free kick. England tried to hold the line.
Edge of box, yeah, just hold it.
And that's Seaman. Glenn Hoddle has said all along England will qualify. How he felt privately after Italy came to Wembley and won in February has remained private. But publicly, his belief has never wavered. And Italy are, we hope, moments, if I can be forgiven a moment of real patriotism, well, we hope close to a playoff berth. England right on the verge.
Well, they played 5 minutes first half. I suspect there's
Sheringham.
Yeah, a bit of stoppage time second half.
Ants in the pants now. Ince having problems with the bounce here and with Vieri. Piero going on behind but handling the ball. Mario van der Ende has done all that one hopes FIFA would have asked of him, certainly all England would have wanted from him tonight, and he made a crucial decision to rule in favour of Tony Adams and against Del Piero. In one moment that might have changed what looks like becoming a jubilant finale for England in Rome tonight. The referee is looking at his watch. Peruzzi kicks it as far as he can, and Tony Adams made the challenge. Happy that the ball would run on behind the Seaman. Sheringham. Can England really go through in the grand manner with a goal in stoppage time? Are we asking too much? Have they overcommitted? Chiesa, sharp change of direction, typical of his work. Adams is there with the length of the leg and the strength of the determination.
Door closed yet again.
Beckham. Right heads for the corner. Beckham heads for goal and wasn't too far away.
That was worth an effort. That would have been the cherry on the icing on the top of the cake, wouldn't it?
It would. And Mario van der Ende still hasn't put whistle to mouth for the last time. Albertini. Adams plays the ball, but Del Piero has it. Chiesa, last attack maybe from Italy, and Chiesa wanting a good angle to work from. Campbell, Benarivo, and the acrobatics from Vieri. Another look at the watch from the Dutch referee. Wright chases, Peruzzi hesitates, and Ian Wright goes on. It's still Wright, can he score? He's hit the post! This is Sheringham.
Oh dear.
Well, the game isn't over. It effectively could have been. And here comes Chiesa and Italy with Del Piero. Oh!
Well, you